Meghan Markle has been accused of copying Martha Stewart after promoting what critics claim is a suspiciously familiar blackberry buttercream trick using her as-ever fruit spread. The Duchess of Sussex is facing another wave of backlash after showcasing a recipe on the as-ever Instagram account, with critics quickly pointing out similarities to a recent recipe from none other than Martha Stewart. Meghan presented her blackberry fruit spread as the star ingredient in what, as ever, described as a seasonal baking idea. The video showed the spread being drizzled through yellow cake batter before it went into the oven. Once baked, the cake was covered with generous amounts of frosting. The final creation was described as blackberry loaf with blackberry buttercream frosting, made with our blackberry spread. But eagle-eyed critics were quick to claim the idea looked remarkably similar to something Stewart had recently shared. Stewart had featured black raspberry jam in a summer berry cake recipe, using the jam in a Swiss buttercream frosting. Her recipe called for 1.5 cups of black raspberry jam, strained through a sieve, before being incorporated into the buttercream. And the finished cake looked strikingly different from Markle's presentation, with layers, purple frosting, fresh berries, and decorative swirls. But the key similarity was enough to send critics into a frenzy online. On Reddit, one critic claimed Stewart had recently posted a cake using a whipped cream and blackberry jam icing, and complained that Markle appeared to have no original ideas. Another simply declared, "Wow, bald-faced thievery." A third critic took aim at the difference between the two women's approaches to recipes, writing that Martha Stewart gives followers an actual recipe, while Markle's audience is left to wing it. Now, there is an important distinction here. The criticism is coming from social media users, and the material provided does not establish that Markle, or as ever, copied Stewart's recipe. Using fruit spread or jam and buttercream is also not by itself evidence of plagiarism. But the online comparison has nevertheless created another headache for Markle's lifestyle brand, particularly because her public image has increasingly centered around food, entertaining, and home-focused content. And this isn't the first time the worlds of Meghan Markle and Martha Stewart have collided. Stewart recently made headlines after discussing an encounter with Meghan at a California dinner party. The television personality claimed she found herself at the same gathering as the Duchess after Meghan and Prince Harry had returned from a private trip to Britain. That trip included a highly anticipated reunion between Harry and his father, King Charles III, at Highgrove. Buckingham Palace described the meeting as a private family visit and made clear that no photographs or details would be released. But Stewart later claimed Meghan was discussing the visit at the California gathering. A few words at a California dinner party have now exploded into another controversy around Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It started with Martha Stewart describing an encounter with Meghan, moved to an anonymous source disputing her version, and has now triggered criticism over why the Sussexes appeared to respond at all. So how did a dinner party involving two famous women become the latest Harry and Meghan drama? According to the Express report, Martha Stewart recently met Meghan at a dinner party in California. Speaking about the encounter, Stewart said Meghan had recently returned from the palace. Stewart told People, "And she had just gotten back from the palace. I didn't talk to her really more than to say a couple words, but I know she was talking about it." The remarks were linked to the Sussexes' reported UK trip, during which Meghan, Harry, and their children reportedly visited King Charles at Highgrove House. But Stewart's comments did not stop there. Stewart was also asked about Meghan's Netflix lifestyle show, With Love, Meghan. Her assessment of Meghan's career transition quickly drew attention. Stewart said, "If you're an actress, it's hard to then transition to a princess, and then from a princess into a homemaking guru on a television show." This comment sparked debate over Meghan's move from actress to royal to lifestyle personality. Then came another twist, An anonymous source claiming to have been at the dinner party challenged Stewart's account of what Meghan had discussed. The source was quoted as saying, "I sat next to Meghan at the dinner party, and this account of what happened is simply untrue." The source claimed Meghan did not discuss her European vacation beyond saying that her family had a great time. The source also said Meghan had always been a fan of Stewart and enjoyed meeting her briefly. That turned a celebrity anecdote into a debate over two competing versions of the same evening. For commentator Joe Elvin, the response itself became the bigger story. She questioned why Stewart's remarks needed to be challenged, saying the Sussexes could start a fight in an empty room. The criticism echoed the old royal communications principle of never complain, never explain. The argument was simple. Without the rebuttal, the story might have disappeared from the news cycle much sooner. Former royal butler Grant Harold also reportedly questioned how King Charles or Prince William might feel if details surrounding a private meeting at Highgrove were being discussed publicly. Meanwhile, commentator Kinsey Schofield argued that Meghan's expanding lifestyle and media career has similarities to Stewart's broad brand. Kinsey Schofield argued that Meghan has pursued multiple ventures, including podcasting and producing. She also suggested Meghan could use discussion of her UK visit and royal reunion for clout. That remains a commentator's assessment, not an established fact about Meghan's intentions. Schofield also offered her assessment of Harry and Meghan's Hollywood relationships since moving to America. But again, those are opinions from commentators, not established facts about the Sussexes' private friendships. At its core, this controversy comes down to conflicting accounts. Martha Stewart says she knew Meghan was talking about her palace visit. An anonymous source, claiming to have been at the dinner, says Meghan simply said her family had a great time. And that may be why the story has traveled so far. What began as Stewart casually describing a celebrity dinner has become another debate about Harry and Meghan's relationship with the royals, their Hollywood standing, and how they respond to stories about themselves. The unanswered question is not simply who remembers that dinner conversation correctly. It is whether responding to Martha Stewart's remarks gave a minor celebrity anecdote a much longer life. Because in the Sussex spotlight, sometimes the reaction becomes far bigger than the story.